Mate, you look amazing. You look like you're either going to be commentating like a Formula One or something, or like Chris Moyles or something like shit. You look fucking awesome. I love it.
Oh, thanks, mate. So do you.
Yeah.
All things considered, that you've been stuck in the house for the last however long.
5 days. You say something like that.
Yeah. Are we recording now? Are we on?
Yeah. I've started recording. Have you?
Yeah, I've started recording. All right, good then. So I can get to the bulk of it then.
Yeah.
So
exactly, mate.
Yeah, you know what, Matt? I'm going to play an Uno reverse card on you here.
Okay, go on.
And I'll ask you the questions.
All right, go on.
All right, so yeah, first of all, how do you feel? So you've been stuck inside now for what, 5 days?
5 days, yeah.
5 days. And I'm guessing person, edit that out. Person that should not be named is with you.
Yes.
Yeah. And so yeah, just first of all, how's it been? Like, how have you been mentally, personally? Like, how's it been?
Absolutely fine, mate. We've yeah, because it's so she tested positive, and we were like, look, we've all got to be here now, so it's not going to make much of a difference if she's in, if she's in her room or if she's in the rest of the house, because we're all going to be here. So we're like, fine, whatever. And yeah, we all feel fine. She couldn't smell, she couldn't taste, she had a mild temperature, but that's it. And
other than that, good.
Yeah, me and Dad, absolutely fine. Not even a sniff or anything.
Seriously, so have you guys been tested as well?
No, because I checked guidelines and they were like, unless you're showing symptoms, don't get a test.
Yeah, because I guess there's a shortage and stuff, right?
Yeah, which I was like, fine.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, but do you have any symptoms that you or your dad?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Interesting.
I know.
Okay,
so
you're doing okay though, even though you've just got to be stuck around indoors.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've got the garden.
Yeah.
So it was just sit out in the garden, do our shit, which is fine. Yeah,
yeah.
Hey, it's chill. It's all right,
That's good.
It's almost a bit of a piss take, because it's like we both feel fine. We both, I'm sure, are fine, and we're just kind of sat here. But whatever. What are you gonna do?
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fair enough. So I was going to ask you then, controversially, Matt. Is that so? I know. In fact, you know what? No, I was going to ask you straight up. First of all, has it changed how you feel about COVID and social distancing and everything?
It did to begin with, because I was like, okay, Amy's tested positive. Shit, that means she's gonna feel bad, and oh god, is she gonna be ill? Then me and Dad gonna get it, and nothing. Literally, nothing's happened.
Okay.
For any of us, she's had the basic symptoms, and that's it. She's like,
so she's not been like struggling to breathe. Like she just literally had no smell, like sense of smell and taste. That's it.
Yeah, and that's it. And me and Dad have like, we've all sat down for dinner. We've shared the same bathroom. We all watch TV, and it's like nothing.
Bloody hell.
Have
you? Sorry, no, go
on. I had the only thing that's slightly out of the ordinary was my ears were like on fire. Like I felt like I could have cooked them. I had to put like ice packs against my ears because they were so hot on Sunday. But that's it.
That's interesting. That's very interesting, because like there's a lot of stuff right now saying that essentially between your sister and our age group, we're the problem right now.
Fuck
because
off.
Yeah, because we're getting it so mildly that we're just like, nah, it probably isn't, and we're still doing like going out into the world and stuff and like doing normal things,
right?
Which to a degree, like I do kind of get it, because I was I had a team meeting yesterday at work, and we had to go outside because we had to be distanced, and there was nowhere at work that we could like 6 of us could sit together,
right?
And be all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had to go outside, and yeah, there were like a lot of, I would say there was like more young people being irresponsible than older people now. And it used to be, I think it was the other way around before. But then again, maybe all those irresponsible ones have just died. So
hopefully. Well, mate, I remember someone said they were like, if this is a disease that targets stupid people, I'm all for it.
Oh, mate, 100%.
I was like, I'm down for that, yeah.
The situation was, right, literally, we were sat on Oracle Riverside by like McDonald's. We were sat there. It was really, really quiet. It was dead. And then these fucking little cunts come over, and they were like, probably, they're probably like between the ages of 16 and 18.
Yeah.
Right. And there was like maybe 4 of them. Yeah, they didn't care. They didn't distance. They like walked really close to people.
Got ya.
But the worst part was, right, is they just started feeding like pigeons by hand with like the food they were eating. So they're like feeding them like food and then eating the food afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I know that's not COVID related, but I think that's generally a little bit dirty and irresponsible.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that. It's pretty skanky.
it's gross. Yeah, man. Fuck people, man. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, if you know what, like, you're right. If they get it because of doing shit like that,
Fine.
fuck them.
Yeah.
It's their fault.
Well, it's the thing. It's like, I think mandating how it all needs to be is kind of. Well, actually, no. Sorry, I was gonna say mandating how you go out about is wrong. Mandating how you go out about, to a point, you should all have the same sort of rules. But if you're gonna get sick and you're gonna take the risk for it, just leave them to it. Like, there's no. You know, they're gonna die, whatever. It's like people smoking.
Yeah.
It's like they don't ban smoking. They just say, like, if you do it on your own risk, and if you die from it, all right,
Up to you.
yeah, man.
Same as anything, really, like drinking and all that stuff. Like, it will
Skydiving, driving,
skydiving.
yeah,
Parachute doesn't open.
yeah, literally.
Rest in peace.
Well, they when I did it, they had that on disclaimer being like, we are not liable if the parachute doesn't open, and you're like, all right.
Wow. I'd just be like, you know what, boys? I don't want to take that risk.
Yeah, just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Bruh. Well, fair enough. That's do you know what? That's the way to look at it. Is I was talking to my granddad the other day, and my granddad's in his 80s, and he's been like following. He is very much like that generation that's like, I'll be fine. Like, this isn't going to stop us. But we'll still, like, if I like get in the car with him, he'll wear a mask and stuff like that, and he'll
Fair enough.
take the he'll take the precautions.
Yeah.
Which I just think's wise. Like,
Yeah.
just do it. And even he says he's like no matter like what everyone can moan and say, oh, it's the government, it's this, it's that. Really, the problem is people.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Boris was like, they're going to have to rely on the common sense of the British people, I was like,
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
We're fucked then.
Well, people.
Sorry, mate.
Even people who were like, yeah, I was gonna be sensible. They hear that, they're like, fuck you, Bojo. I'm gonna do what I want. Fuck off. I'm not gonna do it now.
It's true. Like, it's weird. Like, even people that you see, I don't know, man. Like, there'll be people that will like walk at you in shopping centres, and they'll like move out of the way, but they're almost a bit like, oh, and you're like, you look down at the floor and there's arrows, and you're going the right way, they're going the wrong way. It's like, well, that's your own fault then, you fucking idiot. Like, what are you doing?
I just think that if you get stressed out or worked up, either way of it, it's just not good for yourself. Like, you don't need to worry that much about other people. Just make sure you're safe, make sure your family is safe, do what's right for them, and that's it. Don't care about what other people are doing. Just leave them to it. Yeah,
I mean, like, I think for me, like, I'll move out of people's way and stuff like that. But I think also at the same time, if you're coming towards me and you're making I mean, even before COVID, if you're coming at me and you're making no effort yourself to move out of my way, hell no, I'm not moving out of yours. So
it's a big game of chicken.
You can fuck off.
That's a good game of chicken, actually. I like that.
But it is though, isn't it? Like, it's like, I'm not moving out. Like, what? Why should I move out of your way? Like, we can get out of each other's way.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, it's just common. It's just common decency and like just respecting other people's space and boundaries and shit. And most, people don't do that. Then you're just a cunt anyway. Regardless of this situation, you're just an asshole.
Yeah, like if you see some road man like bopping along, like wanting to get you out, it's like, nah, mate. Like, absolutely not. There's no way.
Yeah.
Absolutely no way. Yeah.
You'd be proud of me, Josh.
Oh yeah.
So it's been. Would you like to know I've done something for the first time in 5 days while I've been in lockdown. Would you like to guess what it is? So it's been 5 days since I last did this action.
Oh God. Mm-hmm. Do I want to guess?
You do want to guess.
Do I want to say it on here?
Go on.
Is it the old? Is it your bed behind you?
There's my bed behind me. It's very nice, isn't it?
Were you laid on this during this event?
No. It's not. It's probably not that event you're thinking of.
Oh God.
So
it wasn't
similar kind of line. It is to do with personal hygiene.
Did you brush your teeth? No.
No, not teeth.
Shaved your balls?
No, I've never shaved my balls.
Gooch, yeah, me either.
I've never done that.
Never. Well, the obvious one is what I'm thinking, but I don't want to say it because now I don't think it is that.
Well, you can say it, but it isn't what you think it is.
So it's not hand relief.
No.
Okay, then. Well, I'm stumped.
I had a shower.
Matt. Do you know what? I'll admit my mind did go to all the wrong places. Right, I put my hands up. And
I like it.
That was
I like
me.
it.
That was me that did that.
That's why I said it the way I did. I knew you'd go that way. It's very amusing.
But a shower mat.
Yeah.
You didn't take a shower for 5 days.
Nah.
How did you feel?
About the same.
You stink.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't smell bad at all.
To you didn't smell. But to other,
dude, no one said a word to me. Dad hasn't said anything. Amy hasn't said anything. Like in my defense, I haven't really done anything. Like I haven't exercised. I haven't done anything nuts. So I haven't had a reason to generate sweat and make a smell.
Interesting.
And I just want to see how far I could go. But like today, I was just like, yeah, I just feel a bit weird. So I had a shower. I feel a lot better.
Do you know what? I bet you smelled like pure poo.
No, I mean, obviously right now I smell like shower gel, but like I had a shower like half an hour ago. But yeah, no, felt fine. Felt all good.
That's very interesting because I mean, there's been times when I've been like really, really sick, like in bed sick for like a few days straight, and obviously you're not going to shower when you're that ill.
Yeah.
And like I felt like I smelled like absolute arse after that, but then maybe that's just me.
Illness is a different thing. That makes perfect. I clean. I would wash every day, and I'd probably change my bed every other day if I was ill. I guess it depends how long I was ill for. So like if I come out of the illness, I put everything that I was ill in the wash. So I just get rid of it. So I chuck out the toothbrush.
Yeah.
I chuck the
toothbrush out.
Yeah, I get rid of it. I wash the towel, wash the beds, change all my clothes. You know, all that sort of stuff.
Bloody hell, that's dedication. I just continue with normal life.
No.
If tell a lie, I probably do change some stuff.
If I've been ill, I'd wash everything that I used, and I'd get a new toothbrush because I'm like, I can't.
Like like proper ill.
If I'm like in bed with a fever, like I was last year, I'm like, I can't. I just get rid of everything. Chuck it all.
I do get that actually. Like, I definitely change my bed because you sweat a lot when you have a fever.
Oh, it's horrible.
And all that.
Yeah.
Toothbrush though, like probably. I don't think I've ever. I mean, maybe I have. I don't really know. I don't really think about it. It's a good point though.
Yeah, I think I can't remember if I decided to do it or if I was like, if Mum told me to do it at some point. I think it's because when I was ill, when I was younger and I used to be really ill, she would just be like, right, you're feeling better now. Let's get rid of all this stuff with bacteria in it. Let's get rid of that. Let's get a new one so you're not well and then get ill again. So I was like, okay,
makes sense, especially like nowadays, like
yeah,
with the old COVID shit. You probably would want to do that so that someone doesn't accidentally touch it or doesn't transmit the bacteria.
Yeah, legit. Yeah.
Boy. Interesting. You're cleaner than I thought you were, Matt, apart from not having a shower for 5 days.
Yeah, again, mate, I did no complaints from the fam. I felt fine. I thought I smelled alright, so
yeah, fair enough. How was the Lord of the Manor been?
Yeah,
is he here?
Yeah, he's all good. I've got to send you a picture of so he's downstairs in his study. I've got to send you a picture of our sort of music setup at the minute, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to see that.
So we got rid of the so Mum took the table from the kitchen, and then we got rid of the big one in the living room because that was just like splintered and fallen apart and everything. So that's gone. And we basically just put piano in the corner. The guitars and basses are racked up behind the sofa.
Yes.
Amps behind that as well. Then drum kit against the radiator, and that's it.
That's what you want, man. That's what you want.
It's
so you got a ready to go music setup whenever you want it.
Literally, yeah. Just pick what you want, plug in, done, good to go.
That's great. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it was really
cool.
I
did think that music was a bit lacking in your setup before, but now it's
yeah.
Now it's back. And has he been playing as well?
Yeah. I mean, I was on the Xbox last night, and Dad was just doing some jazz piece in the corner, which was quite cool.
Ooh.
It was very chill. It was very nice.
Piano man.
It was, mate. It was. I was tempted to record it, but I was like, I'm just enjoying it too much. It was so chill. It was just a nice way to end the evening.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. He's got a new guitar as well, right? He's got a Telecaster.
Yeah, he got something else as well. He went. When did he go? When did he go? He went in like January or something.
I thought he got a telly.
He has got that. He got another one as well. He's got that, and so he's still got the Washburn. He's got the
and a Strat.
He's got the Strat. Oh, and you're right. Here's the telly. I'm thinking of the other bass. He's got 2 bass, Washburn.
Oh yeah.
Strat telly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
I'd say he used to have a go on the old Rickenbacker because I know he loves a Rickenbacker.
Yeah, I did tell him, and he was like, "Oh, lovely."
Oh. That's the Rickenbacker noise, yeah.
Mate. I told him. Also that we'd our group one had released today, and he was like, "Okay, I'll have a listen." Upstairs, all I hear is just howling laughter coming from downstairs. he's like, did you guys write this? I was like, nah. He's like, this is fucking brilliant. Like, he was like,
Seriously? You know what? I hate to say it. I've actually not listened to the group one back since it's been edited. I listened to the original pass on the Dropbox.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Did you listen to the whole thing on the original?
I skimmed through parts, but I did listen to quite a bit of it.
That's
a
big file.
It was like 2.5 hours or something, wasn't it? It was really long.
The original one, yeah.
Yeah, bloody hell. We can talk shit for hours.
Oh, it's so fun. It's just nice though to get like, because I know like when I was editing it and I was listening back to it, I was laughing to myself. I was like, only your mates would find it funny. But it's so gratifying to hear someone who is obviously not a mate, but one's still a relative, but he's just laughing and I'm like, yeah, okay, it's good. It's good. I'm glad I can make someone laugh.
I wonder what parts he likes. There's so much. I can't even remember. There's so much weird shit in there. I can't.
There's so much. It's what was it? It was the one that was killing me was Andy going about. That's such an orc name because he's got the fucking Frosty boy.
An orc name.
An orc name.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
We're a unique bunch of people.
But I had to explain to Dad that I was like, yeah, the reason the dynamic is the way it is for that particular evening is that Josh is the only person drinking, and he was like, "Oh, got it."
Yeah, I was drunk. Shaq was high on life. Andy was just like the old guy in the corner, and you were like the dad trying to control the fucking class, like the teacher trying to control the class, dad trying to control the kids, whatever. It was like you and Andy were mum and dad, and me and Shaq were just like the annoying kids.
Well, it was funny because Shaq was like, "I feel like the mum," and he was like,
"Oh yeah." At points he was.
I think you're right. I think you said I'm the teacher. I'll take that. I'll take teacher as opposed to parent.
Yeah, I think yeah, definitely teacher.
Yeah, I'm a better teacher than a parent.
Well, you don't know yet.
Because I'm not a parent.
Well, do you know, Matt? You don't know. Maybe. Whoever knows. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, mate, I'm trying to think. Well, the four, I hope. I'd like to think that some would have told me.
You mean 400, right?
Yeah, of the 400 women I've been with, I would have thought that at least two of them would have told me, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why that kid kept turning up at your house like, Dad, and you kept shutting the door in his face.
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck off, you 7-year-old, piss off, go away.
Yeah, piss off, you prick.
7?
It's not Halloween yet, you twat.
Yeah, I like it. You came dressed as me. Very good.
Yeah. God, he looks exactly like me. Huh?
And he keeps saying that. He says he's going to come dressed as me for Halloween.
Oh my god. Are we doing something on Halloween?
Well, fortunately, I'll be allowed out by then. I mean, I'm up. I don't really care about Halloween per se, but like, yeah, I'd do something. Like if it was us lot.
Dress up as Kylo Ren. You've all got to dress. No costumes. I'll dress as Kylo Ren.
Wait, just walking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a huge hood, like a huge one that comes down to like your nose. So you have to hold on to one of us. So we'd walk you around.
Like I'll be the Emperor then. If I had
yeah, that's a good move. Yeah. You'd have to be like,
hello, I am the Senate. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to a gin distillery on Halloween.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm going to the what's it called? Bombay Sapphire because it's nearby.
Oh.
Yeah, so that'll be nice.
That's pretty fresh.
It's for a friend's birthday, born on Halloween.
That's
Fancy
cool.
That.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, ain't bad.
It's pretty goddamn impressive.
Oh, I can't. I was going Italian, whatever.
Do you know what? I've noticed you're wearing 2 fitness tracking devices. Apple Watch and the Matt Della Harp watch.
Yeah, the Matt Della Harp special, right here, boy.
So, what's the difference between those? Well, I know the Apple Watch, but remind me what the other one does.
So it they record pretty much the same data. This just has a more comprehensive or holistic, if you will, interpretation of it, and it will track. So this does a lot of things automatically, whereas Apple, you've got to specifically go, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is what's happening, and then it'll go, all right, cool, that's fine. So for this one, I've got to turn on sleep, for example, whereas this will know when I've been asleep and when I know I've woken up. So it's more like a case of like it's really detailed. Like for example, I wake up in the morning and I get a little journal on my phone, and it will say like it's got some really interesting questions. So it'll be like, how much caffeine did you have? Did you have any caffeine yesterday? And there's like each loads of questions. There's like a swipe. So you swipe it, and it will go, okay, how many servings? 2. What time were these? And you were like 8 and 1. They're like, cool. And then it'd be like, did you read? How long did you read for? What time did you start reading? Did you watch any TV? Were you playing you playing a game? Did you masturbate? Did you?
That comes up.
Yeah, that's one of the questions.
Jesus
did you take any?
Christ.
Did you take any magnesium? Do you feel a sense of purpose? Do you feel like you have the resources? Do you have some goals? And it's like you just fill them all out, and then it'll say you can have a little box you can put in a little note about like, okay, I had alcohol the night before or whatever, and then it will give you your sleep, and it will say like, this is how long you were in your REM sleep, this is why you were like this is how long you're in your deep sleep, your light sleep, when you're awake, the times in the night when you were disturbed, so when you came back to the awake status. It's very interesting, and then it will, based on that sleep, you can then do, you've recovered this amount, so you can then do this amount of exercise, and it will say, give you a window to say hit between these two numbers, and you will you'll test you'll strain your body, but you won't push it too hard so that it has a chance to recover and repeat the next day.
Interesting. So that's pretty good. Like, I didn't realize it did all that stuff automatically, because I've really been loving the sleep tracking stuff on the Apple Watch since like the update.
Of course, yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I've been using that quite a bit, and I'm like, yeah, I do like how just tracking my sleep and seeing like how much sleep I got when I woke up, when I was like restless at night. But that's interesting about all the questions, because there's so many variables that go into sleep that people don't really think about. Like, and a thing that the Apple Watch does is it sets like a wind down time. So I think it's 45 minutes before your set sleep time. It starts wind down, and it suggests like automation. So like automations meaning like if you've got smart home devices, it will like turn certain lights off or dim them or change the color to them.
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, obviously, it requires you to have those things.
Yeah, of course.
But then also other things like it can turn on night shift mode, so your screen takes blue light out of it to make it easier for you to use. I can't suggest that you don't use the phone before you go to sleep as well, but that sounds really cool. Like the fact that it actually asks you the questions, because you don't get any of that data with the sleep app on the Apple Watch, and the fact that you have to tell it what you're doing, which I don't mind, but I do know what you mean. It would be cool to for it to do it automatically.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. One of the things I picked up about it is that if you put like the masturbation one in there, for example, like if it will say your sleep will be better, but your recovery will be lower, which is very interesting. Whereas if you put it, if you do it as you. Whereas if you genuinely haven't, so if you genuinely have and you put I have, then your sleep, you'll get to bed quicker and your sleep will be better, but your recovery isn't as good. Whereas if you say you haven't, then your sleep is generally shorter, but your recovery is a lot better. So which is very interesting, just to see that.
Yeah, difference. That is interesting. Yeah, because it's all like, well, I guess everything you do really is. I do kind of see the body and the brain as just like chemistry, because no matter what you do, you're like affecting some release of some chemical or something somewhere in your body. Like, you know, like if you have too much caffeine, you'll have too much energy, and it's weird how like even if you had the caffeine earlier in the day, like I've just had a coffee now and it's what, like
3,
about 20 past 3. And depending on what I do and what I eat and how well my body absorbs that, which again can also be based on like what you eat and what you do, could affect my sleep later on. It's just there's so many variables in getting good sleep. Yeah, it just fascinates me, man. Like sleep fascinates me, and like I think I do see like wearing the Apple Watch to bed, which is the first one I've ever worn to bed to sleep. On purpose, not passed out with it on by accident before and woke up with it dead. But it's fascinating, and you know what? Like I've had every Apple Watch since they came out, as you know. And it's the first time I've genuinely started to like respect it and use it as a proper health device. Like I've always seen it that way in terms of like it can take my heart rate, and it can you know, it can track workouts if I go for a run or I decide I want to do some exercise or whatever once in a blue moon. But this one does blood oxygen as well, which I know is not that important of a stat to know at all times.
Well, no, because it's good to know the hemoglobin content, and it's very good to know how oxygenated you are.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, what's really cool about it and what's made me really respect it is because I've now been wearing it to bed. I'm getting like, essentially, depending on how long I decide to sleep, let's say 8 hours generally is how long I spend in bed. I'm getting 8 hours of health data about my body, but like better than that, I'm getting 8 hours of like what is apparently some of the most crucial data about my health. Because apparently, I don't know, you know for sure, but I've read in many places that you get some of the most crucial data about your body whilst you're sleeping.
Makes sense. You put everything back to a baseline. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I guess depending. So, I remember a long time ago when I was like getting stuff done for my heart, because my granddad's on both sides have had heart problems, like quite severe ones. So you remember all that stuff going on where I had to there's one time where I had to wear an ECG machine for 24 hours, and the main purpose of that is to measure, when you're active. Because if you go to a hospital or a doctor's surgery and they do that, you're just laid on a little table. They measure it for a couple minutes, and that's it. Like that, you can get if there's anything serious, it'll pick it up. But it's kind of hard to pick up anything that comes on when you do certain things. So does it come on whilst you're walking, doing like strenuous activities? Does it come on whilst you're resting? Does it come on whilst you're asleep? These sort of things. So they get you to do that to get a day's worth of accurate reading of your heart. So yeah, it's really cool that it can do that. And then you can wake up in the morning and see your peak heart rate when you're asleep and your lowest heart rate. So I think my lowest it goes when I sleep is 54 BPM, which is like...
That's good. Yeah.
I think it's pretty average.
Yeah, so it's between 50 and 60 when you're asleep.
Oh, okay. So not too bad. I think the highest it's ever been was 94, which is like not too bad. I imagine that was during like a pretty intense dream or something like that.
It'll be a dream, or it'll be if you've drunk just before bed, so your body will be processing alcohol, so it keeps your heart rate up.
That does make sense. Does make sense.
Yeah.
And I've also like realised as well what's important is like the strap that you wear to bed is important. Like you don't want to wear like a metal link or something like that. Like this is a stretchy. I don't know what it's made of. I can't remember.
Well, the same one as mine there.
Oh no, it's a bit different. I'll show you on the. Oh yeah, I have to show you on both cameras. It's a new one. It's a woven.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
It's like it's pretty nice. It's like if I can get it on your camera. Fucking hell. It's like stretchy. So you
that's
clasp. Cool. You just stretch it over your wrist and it.
That's nice. I like that.
Really, really nice for sleep. And the main reason I actually got it was for sleep, but I actually find myself wearing it during the day as well.
Yeah, it's cool.
Which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yes, I bought a few different straps to like use for sleep, just to try them out. And I find material ones are really good. So yeah, because it's stainless steel as well. So I was like, oh god, like it's gonna keep me up because it's stainless steel. It's quite heavy, not at all. I love having it on, and it's really cool that it wakes you up, gives you a little summary of your day ahead on your wrist as well. It feels like super like. Like in the 1950s or something, if you told somebody that, one day you'll wake up with what is essentially like a computer, well, not essentially, what is literally a computer on your wrist. And it gives you all this information and it wakes you up silently because it just taps you on the wrist. Like, it doesn't even make any noise.
Oh,
and
that's
it can tell
cool.
you, yeah, sweet. And it like gradually does it as well. So like it pulses, so it doesn't wake you up like, it's like a nice gradual pulse. And like I think it's over a couple of minutes. It like wakes you up slowly.
Whoa,
which
that's
is really
lovely.
Cool. It's very nice because like you wake up like super chilled, like I'm ready to start my day.
So is that just on the newer watch, or is that a feature on the other ones as well?
If you've got the latest watch update, I think WatchOS 7, it will work because
I'm sure I do.
I had the Series 5 before I got this one, and it worked on that.
So well, I'm on the 3, so I'm a couple behind you.
I think it should still be okay because I think they still sell the Series 3, so yeah. So I imagine you'd be good to use all the features. You should give it a go because it is cool.
I'll give it a whirl. That's cool.
You've got to set like a sleep schedule. Like it kind of gets you because I think the whole goal of it is like to get regular quality sleep as opposed to like you sleep and we'll tell you how you did. It's like the goal is we'll track your sleep, track your health, but the main goal is to get good regular sleep and like because it eventually will attribute to you being healthier, I suppose.
Yeah. No, that is very cool. I like that. Very nice.
Feels like you feel like Tony Stark when you've got like technology just attached to you pretty much at all times.
Well, you are the Iron Man of the group, mate. So
Bro, I'll take that. I will take that any day.
Well, I mean, the fact that you're rocking the SM7B over there, I think that's any other reason not to. Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah, I'll be the billionaire playboy philanthropist or whatever it is.
That's it.
Genius, billionaire playboy
philanthropist. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
No, because he's just. I think the scene is he's just giving off suggestions. It's like, how would you describe yourself? And he's like,
Doesn't he? I thought it was like in Avengers where he gets like insulted or something like that. It's like, what makes you qualified to do this? And he's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Genius, playboy, something like that. I can't remember.
He is. Yeah, that man was. It was so interesting because he's born to play that role, but he whether it's false humility or whatever, but he doubts his ability to pick it up again if he was given it.
Really?
Yeah, he was. I think he was on Rogan or something, and he was like, "Oh, I'd feel bad if I came back." And the guy was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You are Iron Man. Like, people would be so the entire most of the world would tune in to watch that if you came back, mate."
Could you imagine if that happened? Like, if like,
oh my god, you'd lose your shit.
Yeah, if like the whole next like storyline for the next phase is like the multiverse thing,
yeah,
and they go and like bring him back or something like that somehow.
But it would have to be like they do 3 films, and then like halfway through the third one, he just like the end of the second one, he just turns up, and you're like, oh shit, he's back.
Like, how did you get back?
yeah. That
would be really cool, mate. Maybe Hank Pym can help him get back.
Hanky P, good old boy.
Hanky P, oh mate, gotta love him, man. I think he's the best character in the MCU.
Well, he's just so grouchy all the time. Even when they travel back in time, he's still there like, you didn't fucking open what?
Yeah. You didn't do it. Don't touch my Ant-Man suit. Where's my suit?
Where is my suit?
That's why I love him. He's too good. I just love
funny.
A miserable old bastard.
Well, in which case, he just sums up the Josh Ward perfectly. He just is the Josh Ward.
This is it, man. This is it. Like, I feel like if I was in his position and I'd been through like years of bullshit working at like Shield or whatever it was, and I'd made the Pym particles, and then people were just like, eh. Well, that's how I'd feel.
He was at his own place though, wasn't
he? In Endgame, don't they go to? They go to that base.
Fort. It's not Bragg, but it's Fort something or other.
Yeah, Fort whatever the fuck.
It's where the captain started, I think.
Yeah, and it's and what's his face is there as well. Howard Stark.
Oh yeah, Howard. Yeah.
Played by the guy from Mad Men, who I thought that's
excellent.
Great casting.
Excellent.
Yeah,
but to be fair, all of the I think they've done how many Howard Starks have they done? 2, 3? Because the one in Captain America 1. No, the one and the one in Captain America was great.
Yeah, it's different. Oh, maybe it is 3. Yeah, because in Iron Man 2, it's the guy that is in Endgame.
Yeah, it's the same dude. Same one, yeah.
Do you know what, actually, on this topic, I was having a discussion with somebody, like, literally yesterday, because I, like, on lunch at work and stuff, like, I'll just whack on, like, something on, like, Disney Plus or YouTube. So, I sometimes find, like, YouTube I love. I probably use YouTube more than anything else. But when you're on your lunch, sometimes you just want something on in the background that you can, like, eat and you can watch and focus on, as opposed to, like, having to keep choosing content to watch, like, snippets.
Yeah.
And... yeah, like I was having this discussion that like, so I think it was like someone like Martin Scorsese or like a big director said that Marvel films are like the theme parks of movies, or like theme park movies, and it got really heavily criticized. Like he got properly like people like weren't happy with it, but like I basically was having that discussion because basically the way it started was that the person I was speaking to was like, I'm not invested in it. I don't watch them. I don't think they're very good, and I was like, well, I don't feel invested in them like I am with Star Wars. Like Star Wars, I'm in, mate. Like sometimes, like for me, like the lines between like sometimes I have to like actually think like, oh, hang on a minute, Star Wars is not reality. Like, that's not real. That's a story. Okay,
yeah,
right,
okay,
cool.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do anything to affect the events in those films, but because I'm so invested in it, I sometimes forget that that's the case, right? Yeah. But with like Marvel and stuff, I'm not invested in them as movies. I'm not really invested in the characters, I would say, as well. Like when, the heroes that shall remain nameless died in Endgame.
It came out years ago. People should have fucking seen it by now.
Yeah, right. When Iron Man dies. And fucking Captain America fucks off.
And Black Widow dies, yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't care. Like I wasn't. Well, I wouldn't say I didn't care. I was just a bit like, oh, that's sad. But I wasn't like, people were like crying, and I was just like, I guess no more Iron Man standalone films then, huh?
Interesting.
But my point was, I was like, just because you watch them, you haven't got to be like invested in them. Like, oh yeah, they're the best. Oh yeah, Iron Man's fucking sick. Like, not at all. You haven't got to be super invested in them like somebody would like a Star Wars film or whatever, like a big blockbuster movie.
Yeah.
Because I think the concept of like theme park films is fine. Like if you need something that you're like, oh, fucking hell, like I've had a shit week at work. I don't really just want to go sit at home and watch TV again. Like, I know, why don't we go to the cinema and escape our lives and forget the world exists for an hour and a half and have some popcorn and watch an entertaining film that I can, you pretty much put a bet on is going to be entertaining. You're not going to be sat there bored. You're going to be like, that was good.
Yeah.
You'd be satisfied. It is like that because that's when you go to a theme park, right? Bit of escapism. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, what do you think on that point?
Yeah, it's weird that they criticise them for that because I think. I mean, I don't care about them that much, but like when like right now, I couldn't care if I never saw them again. But when I'm watching it, I was one of those people who cried when Black Widow died. I cried when Iron Man died. I think it's because it's taken. When did the first Iron Man film come out?
2008.
Okay, cool. So so that's 12 years ago. So I'd have been 12, 13. Yeah, so I've been 13.
That's a really good point, actually. Yeah.
So I for me is more like the X-Men. There's X-Men and then these guys. I think X-Men 1's like when Logan came out, I was bawling by the end of that film. I think because I started watching X-Men when I was like 7 or 8. So I had more of an emotional response to them. I mean, like in Days of Future Past, when the Sentinels start killing off the characters, I'm there like, no, Colossus is gone. I'm there like, I wasn't crying, but it's just like, oh fuck, kind of thing. You know?
Yeah, it hit you in the nostalgia.
Yeah, and you're like, oh shit, the character's gone. You're like, what?
Yeah,
like you wouldn't have thought it could happen. You were there like, what? Because they started doing it with the Star Wars ones. Because beforehand you were just like, oh, they didn't die. They were just there, or they were in spirit form. And then when Han Solo died, everyone was like, what the fuck?
There we go. That's better.
Oh,
yeah, I didn't realise I could do that. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think that's right. Like, I think it's whatever you had in your childhood. I think that's what it is for me with Star Wars. Like, when I hear people going, "Oh yeah, I thought Rise of Skywalker was shit," I'm like, you know what, man? I don't care. Like, I still have an emotional response to those films because there's so much like nostalgia and like memories rooted in those films for me that like genuinely like they'd have to do something really bad for me to think any of those films are like shit. Like I could like they could have done better. There could have been a better storyline.
Yeah,
like, obviously, but you could say that for a lot of things. Like for me,
absolutely, yeah.
And like I would say like if we're talking about superhero films, I've got more investment in like the Batman, the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy.
Oh yeah,
like, that was more.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like when I watch that, I have more like I genuinely, even when I watch The Dark Knight now, I still like get tense in certain scenes.
Amazing film, such a good film,
so good. Whereas like when I watch, I don't know, like fucking Avengers or whatever, you're like a bit like, oh no, I know he's gonna die now. Oh shit. But like, there's not that impending doom that you feel for a character that you really know and love.
It's a different thing as well because like with the Avengers lot, because it's so kid friendly, they have to make it sort of suitable for that audience. Whereas like, you look beautiful. Whereas
double chin.
Yeah. Whereas that's why I have a beard, mate. People can't tell. Whereas like The Dark Knight, because it's so much more gritty, so much more real, you're there like, oh shit, he's actually, oh god damn it, like you're actually feeling it. You feel it a lot more.
Yeah, that is true. Like I don't know, like I guess in like what I love right in Star Wars is Revenge of the Sith. Like I went through a stage of like watching that film so much because I just love like the fact that I can watch it, and every time my mind's like, you know what, Anakin might not turn to the dark side this time. He might do the right thing.
I know, it's so every single time you know what's going to happen,
but you're still like, you know what, he might just like not cut off Mace Windu's arm. Then the Emperor might not lightning him out the window. He might let him kill Palpatine. And like, even though you know you've seen it, there's still that part in your mind that's like, it might happen, could happen.
Such a good point because Anakin's acting is so wooden, but there's something about that's such a good point because his acting is shit, but they still manage to create that like you're watching it for the first time every single time.
Yeah, I think all the Star Wars films have that. Really,
how do they do that? I think for me the okay. First of all, it's a really difficult job trying to wrap that all up. That's. And again, you're doing another trilogy. It's something that's been going on for decades. It's such a ingrained part of cinema history and cinema society and culture. Yeah, that's a really hard job to do any of those films. Like, I think they just tried. I think they had too much. There are too many people shoving their ideas into it for like the most recent one. Whereas, like, you know, and that's what you get from CGI, from different locations, from multiple actors, from loads of extras.
Yeah.
But I think for like the original ones, it was so basic. It was excellent. Like it was little fucking models they built out of papier mâché and just blew it up. Like it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, that's true. Like I think also like you're right. I think it was a bit of a case of too many cooks with the new ones because like you think about the old ones, like even though like I guess when George Lucas made the first one, we don't know obviously, but he potentially didn't have the other two in mind. But I think there was a skeleton of a story for 3 films. Yeah, and then the prequel trilogy, he definitely had all 3 planned out because there's a documentary you can watch on Disney Plus, and it's also on YouTube and stuff as well, about making the Phantom Menace. And there's a bit where he's showing Spielberg. I think it's no. So there's a bit where he's talking about Duel of the Fates. So he's with John Williams, and he sat in the studio behind the board whilst he's like watching the orchestra play it to the film. And he talks about like this reprise, in Duel of the Fates, the music.
Yeah.
And he literally says something along the lines of like, like we need that theme to be really prominent because it's going to come back around in the 3rd film when. And you're just like, oh my god, like
clever.
That's why they're so good.
Yeah, very clever.
Because he has it all planned like that. Like he just knows.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That was the problem. It was like J.J. Abrams, you do the first one. Then what was it? Ryan Johnson did the second one.
I lost track of who's doing what. It was jumping all over the place.
Yeah, and then like when it starts to descend into madness like that, like it's just not good. I think what they need, and I think that's what they're doing now, is it's a shame that it's happened after they've made a trilogy that follows the Skywalker saga. But hey, whatever. I guess they had to do that to get interest back in it again. But whatever. They've got Jon Favreau and a guy called Dave Filoni. I think they're heading up Star Wars now, and like you can watch them together on a show called Star Wars Gallery on Disney Plus. And when you hear them talk about Star Wars together, especially Dave Filoni, you're just like, yeah, these are the guys to do it. Like
Favreau is so interesting because he was almost a bit of a joke, like when he was in like Friends for a couple of episodes, and then he was in Iron Man as a really goofy character.
He plays Happy in Iron Man.
Yeah, and then you actually look at his CV, you're like, what the fuck? Like he does so much. He's a director and a producer of so much stuff. You're like, holy shit. Yeah.
He's got a very unique quality to his directing. Like when I was watching Star Wars Gallery, what it literally is like it is a documentary series about the Mandalorian. And but they don't just go like, here's episode 1, episode 2, they go through like different aspects of Star Wars. So they'll go through like, space battles, how we did like practical effects, why we casted the people that we casted, legacy of Star Wars, all that sort of stuff. And that particular episode about the legacy is great because you've got Jon Favreau who brings that, like he like humanizes Star Wars. So I think that's why the Mandalorian's got such a wide appeal. Like people who don't even like my mum, for example, doesn't like the mainline Star Wars films. So like she just won't watch them, but she does like the Mandalorian. Like she will watch the Mandalorian and she can't wait for the new season to come out, which is something I never thought I'd ever say about my mum. So he's got that very human aspect of going like, how do we bring like Star Wars to like the people essentially and make everyone enjoy it. And then Dave Filoni just absolutely understands like not only Star Wars but what's best for Star Wars and like the way it should be.
That's good. That's very good. Yeah. I think
it's really cool.
I mean the casting for like the main characters of the last 3 films was perfect. Like that was brilliant. Like you had Rey, you got John Boyega, you've got Oscar Isaac. Excellent, so good. But I think that where it started to lose me is where you start throwing in these weird diversity PC things. I was like, you didn't need to do that because it's not adding to the plot. Like it's just, I was just like,
I know what you mean.
And there's like a few bits like with the opening scene you've got for the most recent Star Wars film. Again, if you haven't seen it, fuck off. You should have watched it. Like the opening scene when you come to that planet and like you go beneath the cloud layer and you realise it's not fucking clouds. It's just a sky. It's a planet just full of Star Destroyers. And you're like, what the fuck? Like for me, if they just kind of lower out of the sky, you're like, oh shit. Like if they had done that, if they'd shown the planet but not the Star Destroyers, I'd be like, ooh, that's quite sinister. There's this thing, and then like when they arrived to the planet, they're like, what's the thing here? And then just, I'd have been like, oh shit. But
100%.
Because it happened in the first scene, I was like, oh, that's disappointing. Like you could have, I felt like there's a waste opportunity for huge suspense to have been built, like to have been there, like oh, there's one Star Destroyer. You're like, cool, and then like 700 lower next to it. You're like, oh fuck, like that would have been amazing if they'd done that.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like, do you know what though? That's just a testament to the fact that like the films weren't really planned. Because like,
Yeah,
we've all watched them, all those films for the first time without knowing what happens, and they've all felt connected and right. Like even though the characters, like, there's years in between each film, like it's all been like, okay, so Obi-Wan and Anakin are on Coruscant now. He's doing his Jedi training. He's a young Jedi. All right, cool, I get it. Or like, it's like Empire Strikes Back. You're like, oh, so they're on Hoth now. Like that's their base. I guess they've established a base. Cool, all right. And the Equilibrium is like
chilling.
cool. Yeah, but why the fuck is Kylo Ren all of a sudden going to find these things? Like, he wasn't looking for them in the last film. He wasn't looking for them in the first one either. Yeah. So he's just suddenly going to Mustafar to look for these fucking things. Yeah. And then he somehow like just happens upon like Palpatine. Yeah,
he's just on this fucking planet that looks like something they've ripped out of Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you just like you think like, okay, like I just, you couldn't help but feel as someone that knows Star Wars, you're like, this is a big afterthought. Like this is like, fuck it, like just chuck him in. Yeah.
See, with films, like anything that requires something that's a bit of supernatural, a bit of advanced science, a bit of magic, whatever. If they explain it, I'm all on board. I'm good with it. Yeah. Or like whatever. Like the most recent Christopher Nolan film, Tenet. Like I'm there like, you don't explain how this works, you fucking asshole. I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't like, if you don't, I don't care what it is. Like, now you see me, whatever. If that's why like the first half of those films are great because they explain how it all works, and then they just stop explaining it. So I'm like, what is happening? Yeah, like this is not. He's so good, and then you just like, we can't be bothered anymore. Let's just wrap it up, and you're like, oh, you fucking assholes.
It very much, like, I think basically, like you either need to have it be intuitive so you don't have to explain anything, or explain it if it is going to be more complex. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like the whole way that fucking Palpatine was cloned. Like there was some, I'm sure they talk about it a little bit, but you're like, do you know what would have been better is just have it that he fell to like the bottom of the Death Star when Darth Vader threw him down there, somehow survived because he's so powerful that he could have survived. Yeah, and now here he is again. Like he's been hibernating away. Like
exactly. I would have been strength. I would have been happy with that.
Because fucking Darth Maul manages to survive getting cut in half to be in the Clone Wars. Yeah, so like, like so Palpatine's like the fucking top dog. So why doesn't?
He's Daddy Big Bollocks.
Just a big. He gets killed by a big shaft. Like why does he?
He literally gets shafted.
Yeah, literally gets fully shafted. Like Maul gets cut in half and chucked down a big shaft, or falls down a big shaft and survives. You're telling me the strongest Sith in the galaxy? Yeah. It's like fuck it. Actually, that shaft killed me, but they had to clone me to bring me back.
But again, it's so frustrating because that's just beautiful poetry. Because you've got Darth Maul thrown down a shaft, and then the Emperor thrown down a shaft. Just brilliant. Just those little things. That's such a good technique. Just to repeat it, and you're there like, oh, it's so momentous the first time you see it, and then you do it again. You're like, oh shit, they did it again.
Yeah, I love those nods. I do. I think like
Han Solo chucked down a shaft. You know.
Yeah, it is all those like I don't know what like they're called. There's a name for it.
Luke Skywalker as well. He jumps down that shaft on Bespin.
Yeah, he loves a big. They love a shaft.
They do love a shaft.
Yeah, they love a big, hard, like metallic shaft.
I'm just thinking of Shaft, like the film. Like, imagine if he turned up, he'd be like, "Shut up, bitch."
Shaft.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah, it would be great. Can you imagine? You saw him right out.
So good. That'd be so good.
But
original or remake, either way.
Yeah, I love those things though. The things that like carry across to all the films that like hark back, or what's it called? Harp. Yeah. Sort of like make you cast your mind back. Oh shit! Like that was from that film. Yeah. Or like things that, because like you think about like the slang and phrases and things that we do in different countries and cultural things that we do that you wouldn't even notice. So like it's cool that the universe of Star Wars has those as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like like I guess things that Jedi do frequently. I don't fucking know. I can't think of any. But that's like saying what's the phrase that I've got a bad feeling about this. Isn't every single Star Wars film?
Yes,
things like that.
Someone does it, yeah. That's a very good. It's amazing that like just one series of film has shaped the world in such a way. It's fascinating.
Yeah,
it's
like
so fascinating.
It's like I said, I forget that the technology doesn't exist sometimes. Like lights, it's like, yes, no, that's real. I forgot about that. Yeah, well, it's weird.
Little places have little references to it. Because I remember watching Star Wars, then I watched the first Spy Kids film, and they're going through like Machete's fucking collection of gadgets, and they put like this little dagger hilt. They press a button, a fucking lightsaber comes out the end of it, and they're like, nah, and they just chuck it back in the pile.
It's so good. Yeah, it's like a cultural
It's so
thing.
Funny. Now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
It's
I mean,
good.
yeah, it's just amazing. Like, I don't think there's a series that I'm more invested in at all. Like, there was a point where like the only thing I'd go to the cinema for was Star Wars, nothing else, because I just couldn't be asked. But yeah, theme park movies have changed that for me.
Mate, that was sick when we went to Empire Strikes Back like the other day.
Oh, amazing! Yeah.
Because it's those kind of films that I was like, cool. It was like, oh, it was a piece of history. Like I resigned myself to understand the fact that okay, they've been at the cinema before my time. I'm not gonna see it. Cool, but it comes out again in my time. I'm like, holy shit! I have to go to the cinema to see this.
Yeah. I almost prefer those. Like, there's a few films I've gone to see like that. Like, I saw Terminator 2.
Yeah,
which is a film I love.
Yeah, great film, amazing film.
Seen Back to the Future on the big screen.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
that was really good.
That's
this
cool.
wasn't even recently. This was years ago.
Yeah.
They tend to find that for anniversary. I think it was at the 25th anniversary. No, it could be longer than that.
Yeah, it was 85. So we're in 35. Yeah, it was probably 30 years then.
Yeah, it might have been the 30th anniversary of it, or something like that. It was in cinemas again for like a week, so I went to that. There's been a few. I went to see a long time ago, just before Disney bought Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm's plan was to release every Star Wars in 3D. But Disney canned the plan. They did Phantom Menace, and that was it. And I think that was the first one I ever saw as a kid, but I would have been like 5. So in my brain, I was like, I do remember little bits, but like don't remember too much. So I'll probably, I'll go see that. And I went to see that again. And it's funny actually, because I went to see it with my dad and then a family friend called Pete, and he's a South African guy, and he was like, at the time he was in the country on his own. His wife was back in South Africa, so we were like, oh yeah, like, do you want to come? Because I guess he was bored, so he was like, yeah, absolutely. And he is obviously not like invested in Star Wars at all. He just goes to see films for entertainment. And we came out of it, and I was just like, oh wow, like that was so good to see on the big screen. Like I don't remember it from when I was a kid. Yeah. And I was like, what did you think, Pete? And he was like, oh, that was a shocker, but it was entertainment. It was like, fucking hell. All right. It was a shocker, but like I guess like
shocker. Okay.
Yeah, like bit of a shit film, but it was entertainment. How I feel about some Marvel films, really, they're a bit like but it is entertainment. Like, I'm not going to say it wasn't fun. Well, that's what it was like. He called it a hoot. It's like, it's a hoot. Like, it's a hoot.
Oh, that's upsetting. But yeah. I mean, to controversial opinion, I don't think Black Panther was that good. Like, I watched it and I was like,
whoa.
It was all right.
Oh, Matt, I don't think you're.
It was all right. Am I gonna get cancelled? Am I gonna get cancelled now for saying that?
Are you allowed to say that? I don't know.
I don't think it was that good. Like, and the same with Captain Marvel. She was brilliant, but there were so many aspects to it that I was like, they just couldn't be bothered. They were like, I don't care.
My favourite thing about Captain Marvel was it was the first Marvel film that actually made me feel invested in it, because purely invested in the universe, purely because it was like a prequel. Yeah. So it made me feel like watching like Rogue One, but not as good, because Rogue One's fucking excellent.
That is the tip top, yeah.
It was like watching.
That's the peak, yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Like, it's the peak of the new stuff, and it actually, I think, sits in with the others really well as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like that and New Hope for me, like tied at the top.
Oh, mate, what? Oh, yeah, we'll go into that in a second. But it was the first one that made me feel like, oh, this is a universe. And, oh, this is cool, because they're referencing like, oh, there's the Stark guy, or there's this, there's that, and
there's the Tesseract. Cool. There's all this, there's all that.
Yeah, exactly. You see like how the Tesseract got to where it was in Avengers, which was cool. That was very cool. But Rogue One, bruh, the clever thing about that film is you're watching it the whole time. You're like, oh, cool, a film about the Death Star plans, and they kind of clear up some plot holes that have been sat around for 40 years about like, oh, why was there an exhaust port? You could just shoot a fucking torpedo down and that's it. Yeah. Yes. It blows up. Yeah, who would have done that? Good point. And it's like, it was on purpose.
Because like, you wanted to sabotage it, yeah.
Yeah, a bit like some of like the Nazi scientists built like, or tried to build loopholes in so that...
Oh.
Yeah, stuff like that.
That's interesting.
So like, it was sort of that, because I guess the Empire's always been based off the Nazis. Yeah. Or like for the most part, like the way point. That the officers dress is like the Gestapo.
Very
the
good
SS.
Point. Very good point.
And Nazi, like the dudes that like managed the streets and like ruled through fear were called stormtroopers. So,
yes, yeah, very true. Yeah, very good point.
So it's But yeah, so what I love about it is you're watching it and you're like, clears that plot hole up, you're like, genius. But it's not until the end of the film that you realise when it's set.
Yeah.
Or like where it is in the timeline.
Yeah.
And when Vader comes in, you're like, oh my God, this is just like the start of A New Hope. And then you realise, oh shit, it is the start of A New Hope. Yeah. It literally ends where A New Hope starts, which is, I literally was sat there like, my spine was like tingling. I was like, oh my God.
Mate, I was exactly the same. It's like me and you agree, it's that fucking scene where they're like, dop, and all the lights go out, and you're like, what? And then it's just, and you're like, oh, yeah.
So good. It's
the only time Darth Vader is scary. The only one time he's scary. Otherwise, he's just like some dude. You're like, don't talk back to him, otherwise he'll kill you. And you're like, all right, fine.
Yeah, apparently he was quite scary back in the day. People found him terrible. My mum is shit scared of Darth Vader. She can't watch that scene.
Oh, I get that. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, like if you've got a problem with masks and things like that, I suppose, maybe. Not masks as people have a problem with them nowadays. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean the genius of that end scene, right, is that like in like Lucasfilm and in like the Star Wars universe, Darth Vader is like, if you're going to put him in this film or in this video game, whatever, he has to be like the be all end all. He's all powerful. He is the chosen one, right? That's their thing. Like staple of the universe is like, if he's in it, he's undefeatable. He is the best. That's like a thing. I found that out through watching when they were designing Jedi Fallen Order, that video game. And when like they had Lucasfilm in consulting for them, they were like, he is all powerful. He can't be defeated.
Everyone, we're having some technical difficulties. Bear with us. Is that me or is that Josh?
Oh, there we go.
Hello, mate. Got you back. Go on.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi cut out. You have to edit that bit together. Anyway, what I was saying was, right, so yeah, when they were developing the Star Wars video game, Fallen Order, they had Lucasfilm in consulting with them. Yeah. And they said, like, basically, if you want to put any depictions of Vader in this, he has to be, like, all-powerful. I don't want to spoil the game for you, but can I spoil it for you?
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
He does make an appearance, and literally he spawns, and you're meant to fight him, but he's the only enemy in the game that spawns without a health bar. So, given the connotation that essentially, no matter how hard you try, you're not going to damage him.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happens. And he just fucks you. So you don't die, but like he literally like fucks you up.
Just bend you over a barrel, yeah.
Yeah, he just destroys you.
I like it.
So there's that. But I feel like what was so nice about that is because it was set so close. I think they took how they wanted to do Vader back then, but didn't have the technology and did it. So it was like, this is how it should have been, but they couldn't do it. But this is how powerful he was. Yeah. And literally that scene where you see him walk in A New Hope, he's just ruthlessly slaughtered some rebels.
Yeah.
My screen's stuck saying reconnecting. This is a bit annoying.
Ah.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Oh, it's paused now.
There we go.
I'm all good.
Fixed it. All right, cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
It's pretty sweet. I love they have standards like that for just making films and content and stuff. Very cool.
I get it for that. Because is it PS4 exclusive, that game?
No, it's on Xbox as well.
Okay, cool. Because I've got because I'm gonna I have a source, so I'm gonna be getting the new Xbox when that comes out. But hey, this is how it's gonna work. I have someone on the inside, so I'm gonna get one of them, like the little
Microsoft.
Yeah, the little one.
Right.
So that's the S, not the X. Have you seen them? Of course, haven't you? The sizes of them.
Yeah, I've seen it all.
So the black one's like a fucking shoebox, like
fridge.
That. Yeah, it's like literally it's like a little Marshall fridge. Whereas the smaller one is like like a Adidas shoebox, which is quite cool.
And it's got a circle on the side, black circle.
Yeah, for the fan. Yeah. So I'm gonna get both, definitely. The only reason I'm getting both is because the other one, someone sorted my house. It's all good.
Are you getting discount?
I can neither confirm nor deny, my friend.
Okay, because I was going to say, right, so when people have spoken about getting, and like with consoles, for me personally, I go for what my friends have, because I only play games socially. I don't really, I do play single player games, but what I do most is I go join a party, play a game. Yeah. Single player, I do, if there's a really good single player, like a new GTA or a new, Rockstar game or something really good single player, I'll play single player. Yeah. But I tend to still go for like, so I can join a party chat whilst I'm playing it with like other friends that are online at the time.
Yeah.
Whether that's like work friends or whatever. So that's like thing number one. And the thing number two is I just go for like what I think is the coolest technology and like the coolest thing. And like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, my argument, right, for PS5, if we're going for like the most basic argument that isn't related to any of the things I've just said, is the full spec Xbox One X. No, Xbox Series X.
Yeah, the big boy. Yeah.
Yeah. That one is what, $499?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like £500.
Yeah.
And then the oh fucking hell, the Series S,
the smaller one. Yeah.
is less powerful.
Yeah. It's about 300 quid-ish.
£300. Yeah. So it's $299.
Yeah.
My argument for that, right, is that you have two PS5s. You have the one with the disc drive, which is $499, same as the Xbox.
Yep.
It's a fully spec'd PS5, as in like it's equivalent spec to the Xbox Series X.
Yep.
For £60 more than the Xbox Series S.
Yep.
You can get the full spec PS5 without the disc drive.
So the digital one, yeah.
So £60 more, but there's no. All they take out is the disc drive, which is what they do on the Series S.
Yeah.
But the Series S is less powerful.
Yeah.
Like by quite a bit compared to the X.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my argument. Like if you're thinking about spending,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yes, it is cheaper out of pocket initially, but if you save an extra £60, like if you save up an extra £60, you're getting a full console. There's no drawbacks. It is exactly the same as the more expensive PS5. They're the same thing.
Yeah, because it's only an extra 24%, something like that.
Yeah, it's almost like, if you like use an Apple example, it's almost like the iPhone 11 Pro and the Pro Max. The only thing you don't get with the 11 Pro is a big screen, a bigger screen.
Yeah,
that's
it. Yeah.
So
or it's like it's like you're right. Yeah, because I was going to say the 11 to the Pro. So the 11 normal to the 11 Pro is going to be a bigger jump. But you're right. Yeah. The Max to the normal to the regular to the Max is a bit.
It's nothing.
Is nothing
apart from the screen size.
Yeah, only variable. Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the way I think about it. Like, and I, you know what, I would say, like, I am a PlayStation fan because I've always had PlayStations. It's just been like, again, back to that thing of what we were saying about film investment. Like, I remember, like, literally, my family had a PS1 before I was born, so I was born into like playing PlayStation consoles. So there's that. Feel like a degree of weird like loyalty, I suppose. But also, I think the innovation in the PS5 to me is like cooler, and it makes you want to buy it. But yeah.
I think on a similar thing to you with the Xbox and the fact that it's an affiliation of an acquaintance of mine with that company. So it's and that to such a degree that I was able to live where I was able to live because of that relationship. So I feel that.
Oh right.
Yeah.
So I know who it is now.
Yeah. So I feel like and we're still getting perks to that. So I feel I'm a similar sort of thing, but I feel like I'm getting it for the Xbox. But again, I've had a PS4 before. And it was I fucking loved it. It was a great console, fucking awesome. It was fast as shit. I think the only drawback I had was mine was second hand. So the reason I got rid of it is because they kept thinking there was a disc in it, even there was no disc. So it kept trying to eject something that didn't exist. So I was like, ugh.
That's a bit annoying. Yeah, that would piss me off.
But that was just because it was second hand. That's it. So but beyond that, it was flawless. Great console. Really good.
Yeah, fair. I think like, do you know what? Like with consoles and stuff like that now, even like phones to a degree, but phones I think is a more complicated thing. The technology fundamentally is all the same.
Yes.
Like
I
if
agree.
you buy a PS5, you buy an Xbox, you buy the same game, put them on both. If you didn't tell the person what console is being played on, you just wouldn't know. Like you wouldn't be able to tell really. Yeah. Unless you're like super nerd into that sort of shit. It's all the same nowadays.
Well, I was speaking to an acquaintance of ours a few weeks ago who used to work for Virgin, like in the retail store, so advising on phones and stuff. Right. And he was basically saying the same thing, like, if you get an iPhone, if you get a Samsung, if you get a Huawei, if you get a One X, a One Plus, very little difference between them all. There hasn't been that much advance. Over the last 20 years, like technological advance for phones has kind of gone like this.
Definitely. Yeah. There's less. I don't want to say less innovation because I feel like innovation's a little bit subjective in terms of like you can only innovate with what you have.
Well, I mean, there's been the massive spike, like copying from the iPhone from last year with the multiple cameras. They've all coming out with multiple cameras now.
You do tend to find there's like a trendsetter, whether that's like every generation of product, there's a trend-setting company, and whether that's Apple or like, I mean, you know what you could say, like someone like Samsung started the whole like big screen phase that eventually made Apple go, you know what, we have to put a bigger screen in the phone, otherwise people are not going to buy iPhones anymore.
Good point.
Yeah, so like everyone there's always like a pioneer in a certain part of the industry for each different thing. But like I guess when people say like, oh, like companies aren't innovating as much anymore, it isn't really that. It's more like we literally went from phones with tiny screens and fucking keyboards with numbers on them to all of a sudden having touchscreen phones. That's a huge jump. That's almost like going from cars with wheels to cars that fly.
Yeah, massive
It's huge.
jump.
And then whilst you're still working that technology out, like the priorities change, right? So you can go, okay, the priority is having a touchscreen that's large enough to use with your fingers and works really well. And then you go, okay, well, we've got that bit down. Like, what can we add? Oh, well, a better camera would be nice. Okay, let's put a better camera in there. Okay, what else could we add? Well, faster connection would be nice. All right, faster connection. What would be better this time? Well, actually, a front-facing camera for video calls on a nice screen would be great. Okay, cool. Then you're like, okay, then what could we add? I don't know. We're kind of like, we've got some good stuff in there. We could do a bigger screen. All right, we'll make it bigger. You know, like there's all those things.
Yeah, or like, okay, we're getting, you know, because there's so much on it now, the phone's not really lasting very long, so let's add lithium batteries. Let's get a better battery life going on. Or let's get, you know, the improvement and people are damaging their phones, they're breaking really easy. Let's upgrade the materials we're making out of.
Yeah, 100%. Like it becomes more incremental, and they're only bigger updates when you're invested in the industry. I was having this discussion with the same person I was having the discussion about the MCU with as well, weirdly, and it was on a PS4 party chat on GTA. I think like, the less invested you are in something, the more something has to look physically new for you to want it.
That's a good point.
But, but at the same time, like people have said to me, like, why do you get a new watch every year? Like, there's no need to do that. But it's like, you know what though, like, having a compass in a watch, to me, I know I'll never use it because I'm not the most outdoorsy person, but like there's a part of me that like I love the fact that like they're able to put that into something the size of a watch.
That is very cool. Yeah.
And the fact that like, I remember there was I think it was the Series 4 watch, Series 3 or Series 4. The Series 3 introduced this. Like Series 3 watch had cellular, first one with standalone cellular that you could leave your phone away from it and it would work independently.
Yeah.
I knew that like, you know what, like at the time I was like 23. I was like, I'm never going to not have my phone on me. So I don't need it, but I still bought that particular model, which was an option. Still got a cellular plan because I was like, that's fucking cool technology. And like, if I ever need it, it's there. And there have been times when I have actually needed it, which is cool.
That's good.
I think it's that for me. It's like, I just love the fact that they can do that. Like I think also the Series 3 was the first one that had more, I think it had more processing power in it than the iPhone 4S did. And it's like the fact that like we were walking around using that phone as like number one device and now it's in something this big.
Yeah.
Like insane. I just love like you're like, I'm going to buy that because I appreciate the work someone has put in to make that advancement. So there's that.
Do you know what my favourite feature of this is?
Go on.
Walkie-talkie.
Oh, I love walkie-talkie.
I love walkie-talkie. Fucking
use it at work all the time.
I love it. It's so good. The fact that I can and it's made driving so much easier as well. Because if I'm driving along, I see my phone's ringing. I'm like, oh shit! Quickly press, and I can just keep driving. I don't have to do anything. I don't even.
It's like a hands-free.
Yeah, it's awesome, and you'd hear it still really well. Like it's still really good. Yeah, no, I think it's great. I mean I was gonna say something, I forgot what it was. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, no, it is awesome. I mean, like the the only reason I switched back to Apple is because of this. Like, I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't have the new phone. I wouldn't have my MacBook if I didn't need it. Like, because the other shit was fine. I still have it, but this is just so much better. Like, that's the thing. You can always hand to Apple for their stuff. Like, even if you're like, oh, I hate all the fucking the insular clab or whatever, it's like, fuck off. It's good shit. It's fucking awesome, and it just works. Yeah, it just works. And if you like, this is so easy. Like, I can also finish this. I can put this from my phone to my laptop. If I had like everything here to my laptop, AirDrop it, 60 seconds, put the music together, print, post production, an hour, upload 2 hours, done. I can do it in a day. I can do like 3 of these a day if need be. It's fucking brilliant.
It's so true. Like that's what I've always loved about it is like when you get branded like fanboy or like closed-minded or like there's like people make comments like like people that like Apple just pretend that other technology doesn't exist, and it isn't true because I have other technology. It's just I buy the thing for the things that I need that I want to do. Apple stuff is the best.
Yes, agreed. Yeah,
and like do you know what as well? Like I think the degree of trust comes with Apple. Like the watch, like. I trust it to wake me up in the morning. I trust it to accurately measure my health data because I know the reputation Apple has, and it's not someone that would put out like fucking Samsung put out a phone that blows up.
Yeah, that was funny. Or
you know what I mean? Like, how do they not get to that during their testing?
Or like the folding and the wraparound phone, they've tried to release it for the last 6 or 7 years, and it just keeps fucking breaking. Yeah.
Every time there's like a problem where like literally a bit of fucking dust can get under the screen and it breaks. Like, I'm not saying that's bad. Like Samsung make great products, but
but yeah, I mean, come on.
There's trust.
Yeah, there's something going wrong. It's taking you 7 years to release one product.
Yeah, and it's still not really right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very true. Like, do you know what as well? Like, I was going to say with the watch, like, because I've had them for so long now. I remember when it first came out, people were like, "Oh, it might become like the phone one day. Like, you never want to be without your iPhone." I do feel that it fully has now. Like, I hate forgetting my watch. I hate it not charging if I accidentally forget to charge it. If I'm like pissed and I like wear it to bed and it dies. Yeah. I hate it because it weirdly makes you feel safe. Because I think like if I'm ever having to run away from something, press and hold the button and it goes straight to emergency SOS and calls the police or dials 999 for you.
Yeah.
It can tell me if I've got heart problems because it's regularly reading my heart, and if I have like a heart murmur, it would tell me like we detected this, and whether or not it's, you know, even if that's not accurate or it's not like, it does always give the disclaimer of like, look, it could not be 100% accurate because it, you know, it's not a fucking massive machine.
It's not a heart
monitor. Yeah. But it can do a degree of that, and like the amount of like stories online that you can read. You can watch videos of as well of people that like the watch picked it up, so it made them go, you know what, it could be wrong, but fuck it, I'll go to the ER or I'll go to my GP and I'll just get it checked. And 9 times out of 10, it's been absolutely right. Yep, yeah, I agree. So like, there's a degree of safety that I feel having this on now as well.
And I think if it got to a point where we could have, well, we probably can now, where people just enjoy having their phones. But if we get to a point where either technologically or socially we moved over to a place where we use our phones less and use this more, I think that's nothing but a good thing, because like the phones are just like, most people spend way too much time on them, and if we spend less time on that and we use this more, because the size of the screen, there's less for you to do in it. But if it does the things you need it to do, brilliant. Like if this lets you know, excuse me, I mean, to be honest, if you've got the cellular one now, if you don't text, if you don't go on Facebook, if you don't go on Instagram or whatever, or if all you do is call people, if you've got your bank card on here, and you've got, that's all you need. You can just leave the house and be like, I've got my keys, I've got that, done.
Yeah, for real. Like,
I think it's awesome. I think that's great.
I remember when it first came out, I was like very, very, like I had this like full concept, like pretty much as soon as I owned one, I was like, one day I'll be able to leave my house with my Apple Watch and my AirPods. Yeah. And that is it.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I can't. I need to find. Is there a way to actually download stuff onto this, for like music or podcasts or anything?
Yeah. There
All
is.
Right, sweet. I'll have a look at that.
Yeah, I'll show you that in a minute if you want when we've done with the old harping on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was talking to Andy about it. When we went to Guildford recently. He was like, "No, I'm not going to get the new phone." I was like, "Oh, cool." And he's basically like trying to dial back how much he uses his phone because
good man.
To me, the phone has become the desktop computer. Like people used to sit in front of the computer at night and watch YouTube or play video games. Now people just do it on the phone instead. Yeah. So it's actually like it's become, I think what Steve Jobs used to call the Mac was the center of the digital life. And like Apple's vision for that is iCloud. Well, that's your center because everything syncs there. Yeah. I think for most people, actually the center of their life really is their phone.
I agree.
Yeah, like that's where everything is. Like if you lost that, there's more information on that about you than there is in your house, probably physically. Yeah. So like that's where that is. And so I guess you don't want. They always say, "Oh, you don't want to sit in front of a computer all day." So I guess what the watch I think does is it encourages you not to be sat in front of your phone all day. And I almost think some of the UI is designed on purpose to make you not want to use it for an extended period of time. It is for quick action. It's not like to sit there going, "Oh, I'm going to read the news," or "I'm going to go." You go like, "Oh, quick little text, no worries," and then you can voice dictate a response.
Exactly.
You're all good.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Well, that's why I didn't see all of the keynote because the voice was starting to piss me off. But the I did like I liked the heavier emphasis on the exercise side of it. I thought that was brilliant. I thought it was really good. Yeah, really
that
good.
Is really, really cool.
It's really, really good.
I think like that's what I love about it is like the focus around the watch is now becoming like, you know what, it's a health device. Like it's a really good health device. So I think when it first came out, it was being marketed as like we've got a health one, we've got a slightly more expensive fashionable one, and then we've got a really expensive fashionable one. And I think like, you know what, the people that wanted those ones did buy the fashionable ones for the fashion.
Yeah.
But I think that market, I don't know, so I can't say obviously, but maybe that potentially that market just like wasn't like large enough. Like I guess Apple probably don't make decisions based on that, but again, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that wasn't large enough, and they thought, or maybe it was more like, you know what, the majority of users report that like we love the fact that it's like it makes me feel safe about my health and my heart health. It makes me feel like I could leave my phone at home one day. It makes me feel connected to like, I mean, for me, it makes me feel connected without needing to have a physical like item that's this big.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if someone took my phone and forgot to take my watch, or like I leave my phone somewhere,
fine, whatever.
I've got a contact with emergency services, with people I need to speak to.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to do it, Matt. I'm going to do a trial day where I go to work and I just bring my watch and AirPods. Yeah. I've had it before by accident. Yeah. And it's been fine. But I would.
No, I do like
I'd really like to do that. Like wake up with it on, because I charge it in the night now, so it's 100% when I go to sleep. Literally, I woke up today and the sleep tracking had used 6% battery.
Nice.
So I had 94% when I woke up.
Yeah.
And right now it's on 57. I mean, granted, I've been using it a lot at work because I've been at work using we use walkie-talkie quite a lot to communicate. Yeah. And often I'll leave my phone and I'll go off at different parts of the building, so it will lose connection, which means the watch will use more juice. Yeah. But I reckon I could easily do what if I was at work for another 2 hours? Easy 57% is going to get me through. Yeah. No problems. Yeah. I'm going to try it.
You're making me want to do that as well, because originally I didn't have it. I think mine is capable of cellular. I just didn't have it because I was on Vodafone. I'm on.
Has yours got a red crown?
Yeah.
Yeah, cellular.
Alright, cool. So I'm on O2, so I think I can set it up.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a very good idea. I like that idea. I do like that a lot.
Leave the phone at home.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's awesome.
I just love the fact that, like, you know, when I'll stop harping on about it soon. But you know when people like leave AirPods in all the time, and it's like, oh, twat leaving his headphones in all the time. I actually think that, like, I don't have a problem with that as long as you're sexy. As long as they're so good. The technology in them is mind blowing as well. They are excellent.
Oh, these are fucking brilliant. I love these. Best headphones. I've got Beats, and these are better than Beats.
Mate, they are. Like, when I go to, I bought some Bose headphones the other day just to try out. You know, the ones I use for the pod. Yeah. What I'm calling the drunk cast the other day.
I love that. Loved it.
Mate, they were just shocking. Like, I think you get used to the seamlessness. But yeah, and the quality of the sound, I think I don't care what anyone fucking says, it's good.
Because I got them with my upgrade, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be a bad investment. Put them in, I was like, holy shit. I was like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. And I checked my phone, and I was like, this is half volume. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and and the way you can pinch it to go between noise cancelling and transparency. Excellent.
Yeah, amazing. Love it.
But
love it.
I think that will become a more normal, less frowned upon thing. Because imagine, like, you keep your AirPods in all the time, like all the time, and you just got your watch on, and you're just using Siri to like do all the things you do on your phone. So you're just speaking the tasks you would use a device for. Yeah. So to send a text, we do that now anyway. Yeah. But then even more like deep stuff that you regularly browse the web for. Like, you can actually ask things like, you can ask Amazon Echo things like, is this in stock, or is it, but that requires a bit deeper integration. But that's coming. It's on the way. So I think that AirPods will become as much of a wearable as like the watch. Like, you don't frown upon wearing a watch; it's quite normal because it's familiar to the brain. Yeah. Whereas when someone's wearing headphones, the behaviour that, because of the past, the behaviour is they're trying to ignore me. But it's not that. Like, I'm not listening to music and trying to block you out necessarily. I'm keeping them in because I can say, I don't want to say it because I'm surrounded by Apple products, but you can say the words, "Hey Siri." Yeah. Yeah, literally. And oh no, please don't do that. And it will that's it. You've got access to all of your content, your everything in iCloud, all that. I think that will become a big thing in the years to come. And it already is, really. You can already pretty much do that, but it's more the brain behavior. It's like how, like, checking your watch, the amount of people I've felt a text come through, I'm speaking to someone, I go, oh yeah, and then I go like that. They go, oh, sorry, have you got to go? I'm like, no, sorry. No. And I feel really rude all of a sudden because I have just done something that is fairly rude because I've gone like this. I've been like, oh yeah, go on.
Yeah.
And that, even just doing that now, you're like, all right, rude prick.
Yeah.
But yeah, like,
you're
no,
right.
it's not that.
You're right. It is getting more. Yeah, it's getting more integrated because it's different to like you pull out your phone, you're there like it's obvious you're pulling out, whereas you watch, you're just like oh, okay, yeah.
And that's what you know. What that's what I love about the newer ones. The screen doesn't go off; it's always on. So even if
I've noticed that, yeah,
it's really cool because like when you raise it, the screen like you probably can't see it on here, but like it like gets darker and brighter as you like go to use it. There you go.
Oh, because I've noticed that from people because I've seen everyone like. I didn't realise until you just told me now this because the new watch. But I've seen people like walking around. It's like I think half the numbers on and then the rest are off. And I'm like, is something wrong with your watch? And they're like, oh, you can.
It's cool technology because it's OLED. It can just turn on the pixels that it needs at the time.
Yeah, it's good.
So it can save power and stuff. But yeah, it's really really cool. And what I like about that is like a real watch. You could be sat having a conversation, have your arm like rested on the table. I'm going to put it up so it's on the camera.
Yeah.
And you could sort of go, oh yeah, really. And glance down at it without them noticing.
Yeah.
So it's really good for that because it's becoming more and more traditional as time goes on.
That's a good point. Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, man. It's pretty sweet. Technology, I just love it, man. It just blows my mind. Technology and fucking guitars, I just love. Yeah, it's my thing.
It's a good mix because you're working with. Would you say guitars are mechanical? Would you describe them as mechanical?
Do you know what I love about them? You are right. They are. And what I love is technology is the absolute pinnacle of complexity in mechanics, right? It's like, if I took this watch apart, I'm never putting it back together, and I will definitely break it by taking it apart. Yeah. Guitars are the most primitive possible. They're made of wood and metal, and taking them apart, it literally, like, sometimes I look at tutorials on how to do stuff to my guitars, and it's like, okay, now you need to get the wood glue, and you're like, fucking hell. Like, literally, like the early 1900s called, they want their wood glue back, you know, like,
well, you've been holding on to it for a while.
Yeah, literally. So that's what I love about it is you go, and I love that about like my amps and stuff like that. That like they literally use vacuum tubes or valves as we call them in this country, which nothing uses anymore. In fact, I think the only thing that keeps those companies in business are valve guitar amps and valve amplifiers for headphones and stereos, which are really expensive.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, like I love like how you can have such a nice contrast between like the most primitive and the most complex, and it all kind of fits together. Like you use the most advanced bit of technology, which we're using right now, to record the most primitive piece of technology, which is a bit of fucking wood with some strings or an amp that runs on fucking vacuum tubes. Yeah, I like it. It's a good combination. I like it. Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah. Well, that's that then, I suppose. My rants are over.
No, I like it, man. I always like to hear it because you always offer me a different perspective to things that I wouldn't have heard.
Oh yeah, no, same to you. To be fair, like I think what I do love about like our friendship is like we do have such a different take on everything and a different mindset on so many things that like. Sometimes we might be like, oh, that's fucking annoying, or like, oh, why is he doing that? But then when you actually,
all the time,
yeah, true. But then when we actually sit and talk about it like this, you're like, fucking hell, that makes so much sense. I never thought about it that way, and I think that's why you boys are I respect you more than anybody else, like that I would call a friend, and why you're my, at the end of the day, I would call you my like best friends, not just like close friends or friends. Yeah. Because you're the only ones that call me out on my shit. Like Shaq is my harshest critic, and I love him for that. And at the end of the day, I think really you're the only people I truly listen to. Like people give me advice all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And then you walk away like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Whereas you guys, I actually listen to because I just know.
Likewise
like,
to you, mate. Back at you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's much appreciated. Like I think I just, because I understand, well, I don't understand you guys, but I do in a way that's like, I don't know. It's just given me such a big amount of respect. And as you get older, you realise you have less and less people like that in your life that will actually tell you the truth. They won't just go, oh, that's great, mate, great idea. And then they walk away and go, oh, that's shit. Like, you will actually say to me, like, that is fucking crap. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And you need those people in your life. Otherwise, you're just going to go through life just fucking doing whatever you want. And that's not the right way to live life.
Very true, very true. So what's the most recent expensive thing you bought, Josh, eh?
Most recent expensive thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, that's tough without access to my phone because I'm using it to record. Let me look at my emails to check confirmation.
And you can tell, yeah.
No,
I'm just kidding, mate. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
No. I've got some stuff on the way. So, pre-ordered a PS5. I've
fair
got
play.
I've got a Tom Ford shirt coming.
Okay, that's more like it. PS5, I would support that action.
Yeah, they're good, man.
Yeah.
I bought a. This is going to sound stupid. I'll tell you this because it is dumb as fuck.
Go
on. I wanted to order some. I've got. I think it's here now. I think it arrived when I started recording this. Some skin oil for my blemishes.
Okay.
Which I couldn't find anywhere but Selfridges. I could find it, but it was out of stock. So Selfridges had it. It was like £22, so it wasn't expensive.
Fair enough.
And it was like delivery was like something like $7.99 or free if you spend over £30, and I was like, for fuck's sake. So what I then did was spend another £20 on a fucking reed diffuser to get free shipping. So I was like, well, rather than spend £8 on shipping,
how they get you, mate. That's how they get you.
It fucking is.
Yeah.
I literally like placed the order, downloaded the app to track it, and then I went, you know what? I've been had.
Yeah. No,
but I love it. It's making my room smell great, so fuck it.
Fair enough. No, the face oil thing is a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, I got face oil, and you know what? The reed diffuser smells exactly. I got it's right there. Let me have a read of it. Oh fuck, I can't even see it. It's tobacco and sandalwood, but it smells exactly like this Tom Ford fragrance called Tobacco Vanille, which is really good. Like, it smells literally exactly like it. So yeah, my room smells like Tom Ford, which I'm very happy about. Yeah, but what about you?
Well, the recent thing I bought, just books. Like, that's it really. I'm just buying. Problem is, I've started finding limited edition versions of books I like, and I'm like,
yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Because they add extra artwork and they're signed and the limited stuff. I'm like, there's a whole range of them that I think I've got one up here, which I've spent. Don't worry about it.
One of them.
But it's not even released until next year. But what they do is they do like the actual one you can get off the shelf for like a tenner. They don't release until next year, but they do the limited edition stuff a year in advance for everything.
Right, that's cool.
So they've got I've got one up there. I've got one underneath. Because they all come in these branded boxes as well. So then like with the tissue paper and everything all wrapped up.
Sick. Yeah, I love that.
Like signed numbers, numerals, all that sort of shit. So I've got two up there, and I've got one that I'm using as a stand here as well, just to get a little bit higher. Mate, it's
ultimate rich boy.
Mate, it's in this box. It's in this box. I can use it as a pillow if I wanted to.
Fair.
But I started finding them, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, you know what? It's the little obsessions. Like for me, it is like I've always tried to like on the if you haven't listened to it already, go and listen to it, people. But the harping on with all four of us. We talk about fashion.
Yeah. It's Harping on episode 16. If anyone's asking,
that's the one. Most recent release right now, but it won't be when you hear this.
Well, this is what I'm debating to do, whether I do a COVID mat, because then it depends how quickly you can get it to me, mate.
Oh yeah, I'll upload it immediately.
Oh yeah, because I'll try and release it as soon as I can then.
Yeah, cool. I mean, so yeah, with like I explained in the last one, so I won't go on. Yeah. But I just buy like fashion items that I look at and go, I wish I'd designed that myself.
Yeah.
So that's what I buy, but that's a horrible obsession as well, because again, it's almost like what I was just saying about technology. Like I'll buy it because it's like, fuck, I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
It's like art for me. I've realised it is like art. It's why people buy paintings, because they're like, that's amazing, that looks great. Like I appreciate that.
That's a very
appreciation.
Good point.
Yeah. That's how I see it. So yeah, like that's the dangerous obsession for me. I don't necessarily buy the most expensive things, partly because I'm not rich enough, and second because I don't actually think the more expensive stuff really is the nicest stuff. Like the stuff with the logos plastered all over it really is not what I go for. It's more like I like that piece, that's nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean I'm a similar sort of thing for like the sort of sci-fi I'm into as well. The artwork for the whole universe is just mind blowing, and also for I had probably the same number of books a couple of years ago. I moved out, so I had to. Moved out briefly, then moved back in again. But while I was moved out, I had to cut down all my books, and then I cut down to like 40 books or whatever. And I was like, I really want to read them again. So I went to Lucy to go buy them, and normally where they'd be £8, they stopped printing them, so they're now like £80. And I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, shit me. Okay, so I went onto eBay, and I managed to get all of them for like their original price, or even a fraction of the original price.
Nice one.
These are going to do nothing but gain in value.
Yeah, that's really good.
All of these here, they don't print anymore, and I've got like a complete set of the one at the top, which is like 56 books.
Nice.
And that's just the value for all of them is just going to go up. There's no way for them to go up anywhere but up.
It's cool having like things like that. Like one of my, I guess the most similar obsession I have to your like books stuff is records for me.
Yeah,
that's why I've got the vinyl shrine right there.
Yeah, excellent one.
I've got an original, the original Tame Impala EP on vinyl from 2010.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've listened to it, but it's still in great condition.
Yeah.
I still got like all the original shit that came with it, like barely touched. I don't touch it.
Yeah.
It's in like a sleeve, so it's protected. And I love all that stuff. And I've got 2 pressings, limited edition pressings of the new one, the Slow Rush, and one of them I just left in the cellophane. I was like, there's no need for me to open both.
Yeah.
Because that will only appreciate in value, because they were rare anyway. Like, it was hard to pre-order that. Like, it was one of those mad rushes to pre-order it online when it came out. And I managed to get like one that came with a limited edition single, one that was pressed on like midnight green vinyl, one that was pressed on colourful vinyl.
Yeah, I've seen that one. That's cool.
Yes, that's the one I opened, because I think that was I just looked it up, and that was the most popular one. So I thought, well, I'll keep the rarest one then. And yeah, like the stuff like that, like I love it. Like when you go and find original copies, like I think what's great about vinyl and books is you can go in someone's loft and they go, yeah, you can have any, just go through, if you want them, take them. Yeah. And you can go in there and find like an original Led Zeppelin like vinyl or something like that.
Imagine that. Wow.
Yeah, you never know what you could find. I know my dad has got loads, literally probably above me right now, that there's so much shit in there we just can't get to them. But I know there's some gold in there. I know there is.
I've definitely got an Earth, Wind and Fire one in the garage. Definitely.
Hello there.
Because my dad would have been collecting since, well, he's born 64, so started collecting probably when he was about 15, so 80. So it's from then onwards, yeah.
Very similar to my dad. Yeah, and do you know what as well, like, especially right now, he was big into Van Halen, and obviously Eddie Van Halen's literally just died.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, mad. Do you know how he got, so I knew this ages ago, because he's had throat cancer for a long time.
All right.
Do you know how he got, or what their speculation is how he got throat cancer? Because he did smoke, but like, I know smoking can cause like mouth cancer, lung cancer, throat cancer, whatever, but most commonly lung cancer. He got throat cancer because when he used to solo, he used to use metal picks and he used to put them in his mouth whilst he was soloing, because he used to use his fingers to tap quite a lot.
Yeah. Oh, so he'd be holding it there, yeah.
And they reckon that when it was in his mouth, whatever
was like
pathogens or carcinogens, whatever they're called,
or lead poisoning, or
lead, mercury, all that stuff that's in metal.
Fuck.
Especially because he was a DIY guy as well. He built his first guitar out of like, that's why it's called the Frankenstrat. He's got bits of fucking guitars and put it together. Probably cut his own picks as well, and who knows what those fuckers were made of.
Literally.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. Like, it's a shame. I do feel like that's a any celebrity like that you look up to dying is shit, but like, when you've got an actual legend, like he's potentially like, I wouldn't say he's the best guitar player of all time, it's so hard to say, but he is easily like one of the like top 5 easily.
Absolutely.
Best guitar players ever.
Yeah, well, and one of the most legendary bands of all time, yeah.
Yeah, for real. Like, I don't think anyone doesn't know them really, even if like they don't know the songs. Or don't like them.
You'll know the name, yeah. Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, because I watched The Dirt with Dad last night.
Oh, love that film.
He loved it as well. Great film. But like,
it's just so good.
But it was weird because we got to the point where like David Lee Roth had like a mirror dropped on his head, and then like we moved on to the next scene, and then we pause it. I look at my phone, and you're like, Van Halen's dead. I was like, what the fuck?
What the hell?
What the hell? That's so weird.
It's so weird. Do you know what I was thinking about? What was it? I was literally talking to somebody about. No, I know what it was. I was watching it came up on Facebook. It was a playback of the video from the VMAs, the original MTV VMAs, and I literally like was ignoring it, because you know how like Facebook auto plays videos and chucks them down in the bottom now. Yeah. Or it does on my phone. I think you can turn it off, but it does on my phone, so I don't really use it. Yeah. And that was just going. I was like ignoring it, and I looked down at the time. Van Halen come on the screen. I'm like, oh fuck, Van Halen, yeah, man, like. I'm not gonna lie, I do like a bit of Van Halen, as you know. Yeah. That's a massive guilty pleasure for me.
Yeah, of course.
Then I was like, that's cool. So I watched the Van Halen bits, and then was like, yeah, fuck this, I need to watch the rest. And literally 2 days later, dead.
It's a rough year, man.
Very much so. Yeah, 2020 can get in the fucking bin, man.
Yeah.
Get in the fucking bin.
But, as I feel like I always need to say it, I wouldn't be doing this without it,
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah,
this is true. I think we wouldn't be doing a lot of things. It's been a weird time for self-development and self-discovery, and also probably the opposite for quite a lot of people. Because I think the extroverts probably hated it, and they're the ones potentially suffering from a bit more mental health than they normally would. And I think the people with the introverts with the mental health that was related to going out have probably gotten better. I feel way better.
I feel fucking awesome, mate. I love it.
Yeah,
I feel great.
Yeah. I've potentially mentally felt the best now that I've felt in years.
Mate, I felt brilliant. It's brilliant. It's so good. I think it's like, what was that? What was that meme? It was like most people shitting themselves, be like, "Oh, we can't go out." Gamers, here we go.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no problem.
Only 3 months, easy.
I could sit out a Game of Thrones winter if I've got an Xbox. It's all good to go.
Literally, it's all you need, man. Like, some stuff to do, like the records, got some music, got a fucking PlayStation, got this. I'm chilling.
It's chill, man.
Got an espresso machines. That's all we need.
Oh, mate, I went and got some more on espresso pods. So I spent like another £100 on pods. Oh,
it's so easy to do.
It's so good.
Did you get the pumpkin spice one?
No, I literally I got my order. When they were at the back to get it, I was like, oh, fuck. So they were, and then I had to go back to work. I was like, bollocks.
I keep walking past and like looking in there being like, no, I need to get something. Then get into the car and being like, fuck. So I need to go get some. Because you know what, I'm going to say, I don't care what anyone says. I love a good pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, I might actually order some because like, obviously I can't go anywhere. I can get it ordered here though.
Yeah, it's a good shout actually.
Yeah. I'll have a look. But yeah, I've got they got like the what do they call it? It's not seasonal, but it's like the flavors of the world or whatever. So I've got Ethiopia, Mexico, Colombia, Puerto Rico, Spain, and there's something I can't remember. It's Sumatra or whatever. So I've got all of them
nice.
at home, and me and Dad
with the writing on, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still got my little goodie box, so I'll have one of each of them. Took out some boring ones, put them in my box, and hid the box somewhere else.
Yeah, that's cool.
They're just so sick. But like, me and Dad just rinsing through them because they just taste really nice. They're really nice.
Yeah, they're great. Mexico and Colombia are my regular order now. My monthly order that I have like set up. They're on there because they're great. I've had them for the last 3 orders maybe, and yeah, they are just banging. Are
you having the dual mix one? So each capsule is half and half.
That's the thing.
I think it is because I'll find the box. I'll send you a picture. I think that's right. But I'll have a look. No, it's something in Colombia. Mexico's a separate one, but there's something in Colombia which is together. I think it might be Spain and Colombia. They've got its own flavor.
It's one pod. Yeah, that's interesting.
So.
And I just got like
I'll find the box. I'll have a look.
I've got the purple Colombia and I've got the green Mexico ones.
Yeah. Oh no, the one I've got is red for something in Colombia.
So you must have them like maybe they're like the fusion range or something like that. I know they love doing all that shit. Yeah. But mate, yeah, absolutely, I love it. I couldn't live without it.
I knew one day I'd like coffee, but I never knew I'd like it this much because I have I have one when I wake up, one just after midday, and then a decaf at like 6.
Yeah, mate, 100%. Like I
love it.
It's just I don't know, it's therapeutic to have a hot drink.
It is. It's really nice.
Yeah, and I think there's no, there's all this stuff saying, "Oh, cut down caffeine if you want to feel better and shit." As long as you don't overdo it, like as long as you have a small amount and you do it, and you know your like what your body can take.
Yeah.
Which used to be my problem. I didn't know my limits. I was just necking coffees all day, and it killed me. Whereas now I know if I have like 3 and I space them out, and as long as I've eaten something as well, I can. Yeah, I'm good. I just had normal one there because I'm fucking knackered. But yeah, you got to treat it like anything else. Like if you feel a bit drowsy, have a coffee. If you need to come down a bit because you're really energetic, have a fucking alcoholic drink because it will do that. Like it's just very basic science.
I think for me, more than anything, it's timing. It's about when you do it.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't have one after, 4 most days.
But there's actual science behind that as well. Like there's a study that says something like, coffee's most effective if you drink it within the first 20 minutes of being awake. So it used to be, it's not right now, but it used to be literally get out of bed, literally alarm goes off, out of bed, straight downstairs to make a coffee. That was literally it. It is on my days off pretty much, but work days I tend to get up, get ready first, then take a coffee in a to-go cup so I can take it to work. Yeah. And it definitely isn't as effective because I get to work sometimes I'm still fuck, I'm knackered, and have another one because we've got an espresso machine there now. Nice, good. Which is pretty cool. It's old style, so not as much
the
coffee.
little ones, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? When you go back to one of them, you realise how fucking trash they were compared to the new ones.
The only thing they've got in their favour for having the smaller ones is you get a broader range of flavours.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say. You get more choice.
So weak, mate. It just tastes so watery.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, the new one's great. I love just the ease of use. Like, do you know what? It's genius, right? The technology behind it. Like, you know how on the old one, it's like if you wanted to get one that like added milk and did all this stuff, it's like you press this setting, then you press this, and you make sure the cup size is right. It's like, oh fucking hell.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is dictated by the pod.
Yeah, it's genius.
It's got a barcode.
Yeah.
So good.
It's so clever.
Genius. Like, take the fucking thinking away from the machine and put it in the pod.
So clever.
That's innovation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was really concerned because the one I got, I was like, oh shit, it's more mechanical. It's got that fancy little electric motor that's going to go wrong. Literally nothing's gone wrong. It's
it won't.
fucking awesome.
I've had that one, the same one that you have. It's in storage right now, but I had that one for like 3 years.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it still works.
Yeah.
Then the one downstairs I've got right now is like a lever one. It's made by like a different company. Which is fine, but.
Yeah,
I personally prefer the auto thing,
yeah,
because you know that turns the machine on as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah, it's so good. If you like just click it open, it turns it on.
Yeah,
rad.
Yeah, it's a very good machine.
Yeah. Well, Matt, I'm not gonna lie, I'm absolutely busting for a piss.
Mate, I'm exactly the same. I didn't know how long I could last for. You knock back both of these, you know, it's gonna be.
Yeah. So I've done a coffee and that much water.
Yeah, you're smaller blooded than me, mate, and that's saying something. That's saying something.
Fair play.
Indeed.
Well, Matt, thanks for having me again.
Oh, mate, thank you for doing this. It's always a pleasure.
Anytime.
All right, well, we'll do another one in a couple of days then, all right?
Oh, sounds good to me.
All right, my man. Well, enjoy your piss. I appreciate it.
No problem. I'll speak to you soon, big boy.
All right, buddy. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.